And there we are. So this is the first of 2 sessions of Silent Legions. Silent Legions is an OSR-based Lovecraftian sandbox game with a huge amount of tools in it, a lot of stuff for generating interesting Lovecraft-like games, and it's very good, really, really good. And I can't remember who on the Gauntlet told me to go and look at it and actually look at the tools, but I am grateful to whoever told me because it is pretty awesome. So at the back of it is a 1-page frame for doing Luchadores versus Chtulhu. Clearly somebody asked for it during the Kickstarter. So that is the frame that we're working with. So we're going to kind of negotiate the space between sort of Lovecraftian stuff and Lucha Libre, probably leaning more towards the pulp side of things. And the rules are very much to make you guys pretty awesome. But we'll go through that. We're going to get set up. I'll talk about some of the framing. I just want to mention that this is a horror game, but a lot of the Lucha stuff has the gore and the violence sort of off screen. But we're to use the X card in all of my games. So is everybody familiar with that? Dylan, Keith? Matt, I've talked to you about that before, right?
Yeah, it means something completely different in my games.
I know, yes. No, the X card is objectionable material. You can either send me a chat or you can do this if we hit something. And I will give you a concrete example. Rich Rogers is running a game, and it was a playtest of Belly of the Beast, which is set in literally everybody's living in a giant monster, and he said that the economy is based on teeth. That is a place that I teeth stuff, any kind of dental stuff freaks me out, so I had to X card that. And I think that's the one time I had to X card Rich. So that is in the cards. We're going to pick characters. I've done them as 2nd level Silent Legions characters. I should have all the details in there. Let me talk about the 4 archetypes that are available. They're very similar. The differences are in terms of class skills and some minor stuff with the abilities. What I've gone through and done is built the characters. I've also given everybody 2 Lucha abilities, one that can be used either in or out of your mask, and the other one that is only usable while you're in your mask. So we have an investigator type, and their special ability is essentially to once, I think it's to get insights on things, ask for that at a cost, potentially, to get more information. The scholar is sort of the more knowledgeable character type, and they can spend one of their expertise points, you have 3 of them, to gain automatic success on a skill check related to a knowledge-based skill. So that's pretty awesome. The socialite is essentially the character with more talky skills, and they can compel a friendly reaction in a person if it's plausible. And finally, the tough is the pure fighter type of the 4 archetypes. Of course, you're all fighters because you're all Lucha, but the tough is the nastiest of the 3 of you. So anyone have preferences on which of those 4 they'd like to take?
I would like to take the scholar.
I'd take the scholar. Okay. Is that cool with everybody?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's fine with me. If nobody objects, I'll take the investigator.
Okay. Are you cool with that, Dylan?
Yeah, I'm cool with that.
Okay. So, Dylan, which would you prefer, the socialite or the tough?
I think I'll go tough.
Okay. All right.
And that is outstanding, because socialite was going to be my choice.
Okay. Awesome. So I'm going to make sure that I've got permission set that you guys can edit in the sheet. So if you want to put your names or anything in here, let me go back out and check the sharing permissions.
I take it we're using our our Luca names?
Yes. So if you go ahead and you can put your Lucha name in there under character, and then I'll kind of come around and check with everybody. Matt, what is your Lucha name?
My Spanish is terrible.
Well, if you want to
let's
tell me
say-
something, I can write through a translator.
Let's say he's the man of gold.
Okay, let me find the like Mano Rojo. No, Rojo is red.
Oro. Gold? But I don't.
Yeah.
I don't know the idiom. You know, like I don't know if hombre oro sounds stupid or not.
Hombre de Oro. Sherry, what are you thinking? You are muted.
Let's see here, something similar to Dr. Let's see here, Dr. Smash or Dr. Boom. Dr. Explosion.
So that would be Doctor de Explosiones.
You know, yeah, okay.
That's all right. I was using one of those web generators, and it said, just plug in your real first and last name and make a Lucha name out of that. And yeah, mine was like the woman of something. I was like, wait a minute, that's not right. I was like, we'll just go through random names. Thanks.
And what are you thinking, Dylan?
I'm thinking, like, should it be 2 words or? Is it
You can do whatever you want. Blue Demon Jr. is 3. El Hijo de Blue Demon, and you can do any kind of combination of things.
How about the White Phoenix?
Ooh.
Phoenix Blanco.
It is, in fact, Phoenix Blanco.
Nice.
Of course, Phoenix being one of the Lucha on Lucha Underground, spelled differently.
Is Phoenix with an O-E or E-O?
That's E-O, and I always get it wrong the first time. So one of the things is that when I was very little, I knew Spanish fluently, but I forgot it all. So my pronunciation of Spanish is going to be terrible if we get to anything that is there, because that's not the language I studied. So just a heads up on that. And this is Luchadores, so it is a little cartoony. So bear with it on that. So I've given you guys a cheat sheet. This is very OSR. Essentially, if you're doing a skill check, you're rolling 2d6 and adding some mods. If you're doing an attack check, you're rolling a d20. And when we get into actual combat, I'll talk about how you guys are awesome, because you are. Sherry, I'm going to start with you. And well, actually, let me give a little bit of setup here, and then I'll have you kind of describe how you're picturing yourselves.
Okay.
So the deal is this, is you are Lucha operating in the United States. You are part of a promotion. You're part of a Gauntlet League wrestling division. which is primarily made up of luchadore, so on. It is a wrestling league with all the kayfabe that goes along with that. But we also know that there is a tradition of real luchadors, and you are those real luchadors. A tradition of them fighting the supernatural, of them being involved in serious, real matches. So you perform on stage, but behind the scenes, you know that the lucha is real when you go out into the world. And you four have fought against strangeness, against supernatural, against monsters before, and it's part of the reason you're with this promotion. The boss, a woman named Constanza Arnal, she is the booker and the boss for this promotion, but she's also the one who apparently has contacts in the world of the strange and makes sure that you guys get to places where things might be happening. So that is sort of the behind the scenes thing. One of the conceits of this particular frame is that you have masks. You can take those masks off. You can put them on. It's very quick to do. If you step away and you put your mask on and step back, the person you're talking to will not realize that you're the same person. Essentially, no one will recognize your unmasked and masked faces together. It is a conceit of this particular frame there. So keep that in mind. So Sherry, tell me about Doctor de Explosiones.
Okay, Dr. de Explosiones is the daughter of the original Dr. de Explosiones, but nobody knows that. They think that he's a very long-lived doctor. Let's see here. Explosive kicks, that's what it is the shtick is whenever you're kicked by the doctor, you know, there's a blast radius, that sort of thing. Let's see here. And she's tallish for a woman, but kind of slight for a man. And her mask is a lucha mask that's in blue, standard, but it looks like it has a surgeon's mask over it. And she wears a white coat.
Awesome. Looking at your character sheet, at the abilities there, do you want to share with everybody what your abilities are listed there?
Sure. I have something called Deep Gnosis, which means that I can spend an expertise point to gain an automatic success on any skill check related to a knowledge-based skill that I happen to possess.
And then reliable skill below that is something that everybody has.
Okay, so I spend expertise to reroll a class skill or attack. I have also the circle is squared, which means I suffer no madness from impossible sights, which is nice. But I picked it because I'm bulletproof, which means I can spend an expertise point to ignore gunfire for a round. I can do this at any time, including after a successful hit roll.
So that's very nice. Keith, let me have you tell me about Ultimo Diablo.
Yes, the Last Devil. He's a despite being quasi-academic in his private sector life, in his lucha life, he is, he's a little bit burly. He's short, he's squat, but he's built. He is. Sometimes he can be an angry little man.
Okay.
And that kind of leads into just a touch on his one of his abilities, his heroic rush. He's got the ability to, once per fight, he can literally dash up to a point within sight, regardless of anybody's attempt to block him, obstacles, things of that nature. That's where his little bit of cantankerous, ornery attitude kind of flares up, and it gives him that little bit of advantage. But he was early on in his lucha career, he was self-proclaimed the Last Devil just because of his attitude. He didn't, the bigger guys and gals of the lucha circuit, they would attempt to pounce on him, but he would always, like the underdog, he'd scrap his way to the top. So he's just He's a feisty little guy.
And what's the other lucha ability you have there below reliable still?
I've got a true heart. Once per session, instantly befriend any decent soul. That's kind of that duality of his the last devil persona he has.
Awesome.
I
like the idea.
He likes it.
Of the heroic rush, because of course, if you use that in the ring, in big matches or rumbles, you can throw people aside like that.
Oh yeah.
All right, Dylan, tell us about Phoenix Blanco. I think you might be muted on your end.
There we go. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. He's a gentle, soft-spoken guy until you make him mad, and it's hard to keep him down. He got the name, just the Phoenix name because he rises from the ashes, and he can rise pretty far. As high flying as that he suffers no damage from falls and can leap 10 meters.
Awesome.
And I got a little mask picture up there on the character sheet.
Oh, awesome! So we got that. Oh, that's cool. We've got that two-headed phoenix on the red with the green around it. Awesome. And then you have Sorudo, which means you don't suffer any madness when you kill bad people. Normally, luchadors can always choose to be subdual, but you can do the finishers on them.
Cool.
Okay. Matt, tell me how you picture Hombre de Oro.
Okay, Hombre de Oro. We'll start with his looks. He is tall, well built. If you've watched wrestling, you think almost like a Yo type. Wears a very old school style mask with the open mouth and the nose hole cut out. Eyes are visible. The mask is, of course, bright, shiny gold, and he wears like a tuxedo jacket with no shirt underneath it, and everything else, kind of a shiny gold pants. And he is a man of the people. No one knows where he came from, but he kind of just rose up out of the ghetto and started doing things like buying condemned apartment buildings, saving orphanages, things like that. And so he has, despite the class disparity, he has the people behind him.
Awesome. You have two special abilities. So you've got the basic socialite thing that you can make a friend, and you can always spend one of your 3 expertise points to reroll a class skill or an attack. You have 2 other abilities. One of them is Submission Hold, which is if you strike down a human foe, you can spend an action to ask them one question, which they must answer truthfully before you make them pass out. And it can be no more than a sentence of answer from them. And then the other one is Ill-Gotten Gains. Once per session, you can instantly produce an item you just happen to have. They say stolen recently, but even for you, if you're bought recently, it can be up to a car in size. It must be something that could have been acquired in the city. Specific items cannot be produced. Sound good?
Yep, sounds great.
Awesome. So this is an investigation game. So I tend to do that kind of loose. I play the sort of gumshoe style. When you go to look for a clue, I'll give you some basic information and we'll have a test roll on that. This is a game that uses a perception skill roll. You'll notice on your sheets and the skills, if you don't have a level in it, you have a -1. If you have some training in it, you have a 0, and then there's a 1 or a 2. If you have anything that's like a 2 or a 3, that means you're very good at that. So Matt, you have like combat. You have some of the talk skills like persuade, that kind of thing.
And well, if it doesn't disrupt your flow, if you can email me that stuff, I could probably access it.
Okay, here, let me do that right now. Let me email. I can do that. I will open it up. Nope, don't do that. Thank you, Google. Why would I want you to go to some sort of random chart now? Okay. And I'm gonna download that. And I'm gonna Gmail that. All right, I've now sent that to you, Matt. So you should be good. All right. All right, so we're going to play. We're going to see how far we get. We might get through this whole thing. I don't know. I have no idea. I want to tell you that I have built this adventure based on rolling on all of the random tables and generating an area and making up cults and monsters and stuff and working from that. So I'm trying to use all the tools that are in Silent Legions, which is a pretty cool game. So we'll see how we do. If you've played with me before, you know that sometimes I can talk way too fast, and sometimes my Hoosier accent gets in the way. So if at any point you don't understand what I'm saying, stop me, because I can ramble on. And the other thing is, if we need to take a bio break at some point, I'll check kind of at the midpoint here. So you are in New Mexico. You've been traveling the circuit around in New Mexico, and you're actually down in southern New Mexico. You're not all that far away from the Mexican border. You're not all that far away from Roswell. You're in the city of Alamogordo in New Mexico, and you've been doing a match. You're essentially in the VFW hall for Alamogordo. Big match. But it's one of those places where they've brought the risers in, they've rolled them into the place, and they've got the chair set up. And there's one merch table out front with one of the people from the promotion sitting there trying to hawk the shirts and the masks and all of that kind of thing. And you guys are either technicos, which is sort of good guys, or you're rudos in the ring, which means being the sort of bad guy in the ring. So you guys can decide about that. So, Sherry, tell me something about the match that you had tonight.
Well, I guess I should ask, do we fight other Lucha, or do we fight like the, local contenders, or what are we?
Sometimes they'll recruit some local talent. Most of the people who fight in the ring here are Lucha. There are a few non-Lucha types who will come in, but it's mostly match wrestlers in this particular promotion. And you've got people that also travel with you who are not in on the supernatural stuff, but work with you guys.
Okay.
And I can throw a name at you if you want a name too.
Sure, I'll take a name. Give me a name here.
Okay. Male or female?
Male.
Okay, so you were fighting El Medicio Psicopata, Dr. Psychopath.
Oh, okay.
So it's a doctor-on-doctor battle tonight.
Oh, excellent. So it's a precision match, in other words. And I think whereas often where Dr. De Explosiones is a heel, in this situation actually had to be the face because things got out of hand. Essentially, yes. So this is actually a person that they tour with, and so they know the act pretty well. It was a good fight. The psycho doctor made quite a scene in the audience before all of this started and was appallingly loud and rude. So everyone was glad to see him go down.
Okay.
With explosive kick to that.
Okay. What a super kick took him out. All right.
Yeah. Okay.
Ultimo Diablo, tell me something about your match.
We will say my match was against one of those local contenders that pop up into the circuits every now and then as we travel around.
Okay.
I don't know, maybe a displaced Southerner in the Southwest. We'll call him the Hillbilly.
Okay.
So Ultimo, Diablo, and the Hillbilly, they're going at it, but just before before they get in the ring, Diablo is told he's going to play the bad guy this time, because somebody's got to be the bad guy, somebody's got to be the good guy. Ultimo, it's kind of his thing. He can play either side of this. So playing the bad guy for this evening's match, or the first of probably several matches. He gets the crowd all amped up. He's working the crowd, and the crowd's all gung ho for him. It's that little, underdog, tough guy personality gets people going. And unfortunately for Ultimo, though, he gets his backside handed to him in the ring. We're not going to say it was scripted, but there might be a little of the scripting going on behind the scenes.
Is Hillbilly particularly good?
No, that's the sad part. Hillbilly is not good.
Okay.
He's out there in his one strap coveralls, the other one's down. I mean, he's got the long what do you call it? Mullet haircut. Okay. I mean, he bumbles, he stumbles. He's not even good. It was kind of a kick in the pants for Ultimo Diablo to take on the bad guy role and be told, he's got to play up the crowd and then kind of fall flat on his face.
And you have the sense that Hillbilly belongs to another promotion, and that this was a kind of a trade, and the deal was.
I'm sure there was some backhand handshakes
push Hillbilly up a little bit.
Right.
So that's how that came around.
Yeah, I suspect
that. Phoenix Blanco, tell me about the match that you're in.
So, Phoenix Blanco, he's built a lot of his reputation on taking on two guys at once. So tonight, it was the two guys are just known as Dos Lobos.
Ooh, okay.
The two wolves, and it looked like it looked like they were getting the better of him as usual, and they were piled on top of him. And then at the very last moment, he just kind of rose up and just takes them both out and rises above them.
And Dos Lobos, they're lucha like you. They have a tradition behind them, and they are always trying to get one over on you. And so it kind of got got real a little bit. There was a little bit of a shoot going on, but you were able to throw them off. And how about our Hombre de Oro? What was your match? Tell me something about that.
All right, this is a simple morality tale for the kids. The Hombre de Oro, he comes out in his convertible Mercedes driving to the ring. And he faces his arch foe, Perro Narco, who is almost the opposite. While the Hombre, he's clean, he's technical. Perro is like a hardcore deathmatch guy, and the drama is, Perro's throwing a bag of thumbtacks in the ring, and Oro keeps teetering. Is he going to take the bloody bump? sees, even though the kids, the orphans at ringside are covering their eyes and crying. But he manages to evade the perfidy of Perro Narco and score a clean pinfall.
And Perro Narco, is he pretty serious, or does he take that role pretty seriously, or not?
He's like a hardcore gangbanger kind of character.
Okay. So when you four get done and the match is over, they're cleaning things up, and you return back to your dressing room. Right away, Ultimo Diablo, you will notice when you come back there that someone has tucked a note like into the mirror. Kind of tried to hide it a little bit, but they clearly tucked it, and it certainly wasn't there when you went out to fight your match.
Okay. I mean, obviously, I'm gonna snatch that up. And is this something that's common with this promoter, leaving little notes around when it's, other things happening, or is this like out of the ordinary?
It is a little strange. Usually she would call you in to tell you about something. But you'll notice there's kind of a handwriting you don't recognize, and it has your names and the names of your three comrades in it, kind of written hastily.
Okay.
And you'll open it up, and you will see it's a note. It says, it's clearly a cry for help. And it says, "I've been told about you and your friends. My daughter is missing. The police won't help. Something is not normal about this. Please come to see me at my daughter's house. You're my only hope." And it's signed Arturo Rubio.
Well, I'm gonna look around at the other three, and apparently somebody needs our help yet again. This is a common theme I'm sensing.
Yes. So you got. Yeah, sorry, Matt, I missed that.
It would appear we have an obligation.
Dr. Explosiones, how do you imagine your group gets around? Do you have a fine automobile? Do you have a junker automobile? Do you all ride motorcycles? What do you think?
Well, it depends, because of course we know that we have a convertible Mercedes at the, that we could use. But I think actually that when we want to go low key, we borrow the gear van that goes along with the promotion. So, okay. and in fact, it's sort of outfitted by Costanza for that. Okay. It's got, it's a little bit bulletproofed, and it's, been bondoed for all the bullet holes it's taken.
And it can be subtle. It's probably got the magnet,
the magnet
side
sign
thing for the promotions that you can pull off of there.
And we can also take those
subtle.
up and put on like plumbers, plumber sign or something like that too. Because
that makes sense to me. So I assume you four will drive over. We're kind of do the wipe to you going to another section of Alamogordo. In mask, out of mask?
We've been.
I'm gonna go out of mask.
Yeah, I think at this point we're out of mask. I like the idea of having the plumber sign on the car, on the side of the van, and our masks off.
It just says plumber. That's all.
It says like it used to have a name, and it's kind of hard to read, and then it says plumbers, comma LLC. So,
And the phone number can't be read either, but you could tell it's a phone number.
yeah.
Just the little edges of that.
Yeah.
This is a mid-range neighborhood, smallish houses here, ranch style, decent place. You will see that there is a small car parked out in front, and there's some lights on in this house at the address that you've been given. Approaching, do you want to do anything special as when you're going up?
It seems sensible to do a basic case just to make sure that there's no one closing in on the place or other people spying it, or unsavory types laying in wait.
Okay. Why don't you make just a perception check? That's 2d6 plus your wisdom bonus.
Oh.
Plus your perception skill. So that's 2d6 plus 1.
Yes, it is. Thank you. So a 6.
6. No, it's pretty quiet here. You're not seeing anybody like coming up on the place.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
So who's taking point on going up or doing anything unusual?
Which of us is the? Oh, sorry.
Well, I was gonna say, I think Phoenix Blanco probably Phoenix likes to take up the rear and kind of almost walk backwards.
Okay. Covering and watching the area. Okay.
I just think the one of us that's the most kind of maybe recognizable by shape or whatever should probably be the front person, because we aren't as our Lucha selves.
Okay.
So that was probably our social.
You got the note, Diablo?
Yeah.
He found it, but everybody's names were on it.
Right. I mean, I don't mind taking point, or our socialite.
Yeah, we want to look
Either or.
normal, or maybe not normal, because Oro is not in his Lucha garb now. He would still be wearing like an Armani suit, getting out of the plumber's van.
That's not conspicuous or anything,
We could do it. We could do a 2-2-1 formation.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm here to
2-1-1
to snake the plumbing in my Armani suit. Don't mind me. No, I'll take point. That's fine.
Okay.
I don't mind taking the lead there.
So you will go up and you will ring the doorbell.
Ring, ring.
And the door will open. The hall light is out. And you'll see this person kind of looks out, and he will say, "Yes, yes."
Yes. Hi. Good evening. We are here to see, and I will. What was her name?
His name is Arturo Rubio. Yeah.
Yeah. We're here calling on Arturo Rubio. Would that be you?
Yes.
Wonderful. My name is blah 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 blah. I don't know. I don't have like a regular non-stage name.
Well, do you say Diablo Ultimo Diablo?
I will kind of hint at that, kind of like under my breath. I'm like, yeah, I'm Ultimo Diablo, and these are my compatriots.
Say, so.
Can we come in, or are we gonna stand out here all night?
He kind of looks, and he steps back and leaves the door for you open and kind of goes back into the house.
Yeah, I'll follow. I mean, I'm scrappy enough. I'm good.
Okay. This is a ranch-style house. Imagine like a 20-something young woman house. You can see there's various supplies around. Looks like she might be a school teacher or something like that. You see the workbooks and things like that. Clearly arts and crafts and things. The lights are a little dim in here. He's clearly kept those down for some reason. And he'll come and step into what passes for sort of a front living room, and he kind of stands there awkwardly.
So, we got your note, assuming indeed you did leave it. We would have been here, a little sooner, but we were a little preoccupied. I do apologize. So, tell us a little more about your situation.
And he kind of looks around, and there's something odd about him.
I was just about to ask if he's all like shifty and stuff.
I was saying, confused. Is there anyone else in the house?
No.
Yeah.
Are you Arturo?
Yes.
Wait, what?
Are you okay, Mr. Arturo Rubio?
Yes.
Can we help you?
No.
Is this the kind of hospitality you usually show to your guests? Because your behavior is most mean, my friend.
No.
Well, I really want to throw a
What have we
punch,
done?
but that's inappropriate.
Is he looking anywhere, or just
He's kind of looking around. You see him kind of, he kind of falls back maybe a little bit away from you guys into more of the sort of dark corner of the room.
But his behavior has changed, right?
It's a little odd. I mean, he's been acting odd the whole time.
Right. Well, I see you apparently don't need our assistance. I mean, maybe we should head on out.
Yes. Yes.
You mind if I just use your El Baño first?
No.
Thanks. Which way is it?
He kind of
I'll
turns his
find
silhouette of the body and kind of points off that way.
So I want to just start kind of like walk around looking around.
Yeah, check his medicine cabinet. Maybe he's doped up.
Let me have you make a roll for me. This would be perception. I think
A
is
2d6?
the 2d6 plus wisdom bonus.
Okay.
This is not your strong suit, but
So
A
I
little better than me.
have no wisdom modifier.
it's still a 10. You look around. It looks like maybe there's been some kind of conflict here recently. Like maybe there was some kind of fight. It's hard to tell because all the lights in the house are kept dim right now, and maybe there's some kind of conflict. There are art supplies around. You maybe see some pots of paint knocked over, that kind of thing. It feels iffy to you. Does that seem reasonable?
Yeah.
Okay. What about you, Oro, and Doctor? You can see that Diablo sort of has his attention. What do you two want to do?
Let's see here. I'm going to look at the stuff that's sort of like the work that seems to be this woman's thing. So essentially, there's arts and crafts and paints maybe spilled. I want to take a look at that to see if there was like a sign of a struggle in among her crafts things, or if this is real fresh.
Okay. Let me have you make a perception roll just to see. You're going to get some information. I want to see how much more you're going to get.
Okay, so I roll 13.
Okay. it looks like this woman has a lot of art stuff from her kids, drawings and things like that. It looks like she's brought some home, like, to do like home reports on the kids. It also looks like she's an artist. You can see that she must do caricatures and sketches. There's some stuff in a stand for that, like you would have at a stall at a fair or whatever, and some paints and stuff like that. There is all the stuff around here, art is very nice and kind of modern, except for one very odd picture on one of the tables that looks very conventional, like it's a landscape, and it's completely out of sorts from the rest of this. And there's one weird thing about that painting, because that sort of beautiful sort of Thomas Kincaid version of the Southwest, except like down in one of the corners in the painting, it looks like there's like a body painted in there.
Okay, let's see here. All right.
Let me come back to Oro, and then we'll come back to you. Hombre de Oro, what about you?
Hold on 1 second. Oh, so I got a phone ringing here. Hold on.
Okay. I'll come to Diablo. Diablo, what about you?
I guess I'm still trying to. I obviously gathered the idea that my friends here are kind of their attentions are elsewhere,
Right.
trying to suss out the situation. I'm going to keep Arturo kind of his attention on me.
Okay.
So you said his last name was Rojo?
Attack the darkness.
Rubio.
Sorry, that was my son.
Fair enough.
Rubio. So, Mr. Rubio, can you tell me more about your daughter? You asked us to come here. We'd love to help.
No.
You seem to say no an awful lot, sir. Are you feeling well?
Yes.
Okay.
So
Interesting.
he's still trying to keep, and the lighting is dim in here. He's still trying to keep himself sort of away from you guys. Let's come back to Oro. You were saying what you were doing?
Yes. You'll apologize. I apologize, sir, but a man of my means has developed certain tastes and certain affinities. I do appreciate art, and there does appear to be some art in here, but it is so dim I can't truly appreciate it, and I will hit a light switch.
Okay. And when you turn on the light in here and the light comes on, you will see that it's a man, but you can see that his skin is sort of oily and kind of running, and his face is oddly done. There are kind of lines across him, and he actually looks like he's kind of roiling. The patterns on the clothes aren't quite right, and he almost looks like he's made of paint. And he actually, when you do that, will kind of pull back, and then he goes to swing at Ultimo. Ultimo,
Thanks.
what your closest? What is your armor class?
My armor class. Let me see. Where is it on here? I'm looking. AC is 9.
Okay. So what I do is I roll a d20 plus 9 plus his modifier, and I'm trying to hit a 20 or better is my goal here. So I get a 2, 9, so he will swing out with that arm and misses you. So we're going to go, and we'll start with you, and then we'll kind of come around in sequence here.
Okay.
What do you do, Ultimo?
Since I am close, I am literally just going to. I'm going to throat punch him.
Okay, that seems fine. So you're going to roll with your attack bonus. Total attack roll is under unarmed attack in your sheet. And roll a d20.
Okay, that's what I'm looking for where everything's at. Unarmed attack,
weapons,
okay. So total attack
And-
roll is 3.
Okay. His armor class is 8, so you add another 8 to your roll.
Okay, so you said 2d. Oh, d20.
D20 for the attack.
All right, so 15.
Oh yeah.
And
So
so I'm
that-
adding my attack total, which makes it 18 plus his armor class.
Yep. And so that beats that's a 20 or better, so that will hit him. Now, what does it say for your damage roll?
1d10 plus 2.
Okay. So what we're actually going to do is you're going to roll that.
Okay. That's going to be 4, 6.
6. If you look up at the top, you'll see in the top corner, I've got a thing that says roll and then damage. So that means you do two points of damage, but that's actually 2 hit dice worth of damage.
Oh.
Because you guys are kind of badasses. So you will hit him, and he will fly back against the wall. And when he hits against that wall, there's kind of a splatter of paint on the wall, like an outline kind of hits there as he smashes into that. Let me come to our Phoenix Blanco, kind of moving around, looking, and you will see nearby you something start to come and kind of pull up off of a piece of paper, and you will see this drawing of a monster, like a nightmarish Frankenstein drawn out a kid's nightmarish thing, start to come out at you. What do you want to do?
I'm gonna double fist him on the top of his head.
Okay. Roll to hit. Armor class is 9 for this guy.
Okay. So d20. 17.
Oh, yeah. You hit. Your damage die.
I am d12 plus 3.
Oh, yeah. So that's 4. So you'll hit him and kind of push him back, but he is still coming. We come to Dr. Explosiones. You're back there by that painting, and you will see one of these kids, image, like a drawing of kind of a horrible snake, clearly like a drawing about something it had as afraid of, starts coming and rolling like a big painted python comes at you.
Oh. Yeah, so okay, so it's like made out of crayon, right?
Yep.
Okay. I will kick it then. I will give it such a kick. But I will say to Hombre Doro, I say, grab the paint thinner. and then I'll give this snake a kick.
Okay. Let's have you roll that attack roll. Armor class is 8 on this thing.
8. So I'm rolling a d20, right?
D20 plus 8 plus your total attack roll.
A little low. I get a 16.
Low. Okay. So you will lash out with that kick. The crayon snake is still moving and coming, and you will kind of crack one of these tables, and it goes crashing to the ground, and stuff starts rolling all over the floor. Hombre de Oro. It sounds like there's more fighting going on in the other places, and this guy is smashed against the wall. You'll hear her cry out. What do you want to do? Maybe
You're
not.
muted.
I think you might be muted. I saw hand gestures too, so. Sometimes Google Plus is awful. You might have to close the call and come back in, Matt. I don't know. He's also on a hotel connection, so.
Yeah, that's probably not helping the situation.
Yeah. We'll give him a sec.
So these things, when they come out, are they like kind of real physicality 3D, or is it more like the like apparitions with that shape or whatever?
They do have a 3D quality. They're clearly sort of filling out, like there's some kind of animating force that is making them whole and large and filling in the sort of the third dimension of these things as they come at you. So let's go back to Diablo, and we'll come back to Matt when he gets back on. Diablo, you've heard all that. You've smashed this guy against the wall, gotten the action on him. You have the lead right now.
I am gonna just body slam him as he kind of rebounds from the wall. I'm gonna body slam him as if it were like a ring move.
Kind of leap yourself over. Let's have you make that roll.
All right, coming up. 9 and 9 is 18 and 3 is 21.
That will hit. Roll your damage die.
1 and 2 makes 3, so that's a 1.
Okay. So this thing is dripping. It's leaning, and the paint is kind of coming off of it, and that's kind of getting absorbed in the floor and things like that, and it's trying to keep together. It is still up, but clearly shaken by that. Phoenix Blanco, this Frankenstein thing now has fully emerged out from that picture. You gave it a smack, and it's reaching at you. It's got the sort of badly drawn bolts on its neck, the X stitches on the head there, all sort of black and gray scale.
Okay, I'm going to drop kick him back into the painting.
Okay, let's have you make that roll.
So that's 1 plus 6 plus 9.
Okay.
16.
Now you have the option. You have 3 points of expertise. You could spend one of those points to re-roll that attack roll.
Why not? I'll re-roll a 1, sure.
Okay.
So I just make my expertise 2?
Yep, the expertise will be 2 for the session.
Okay. Oops, clear. There you go. Oh. 6. 6 is 12 plus. You said he's 9?
9.
9. So it's 21.
21. So you will hit. Roll your damage roll. Matt, we'll come back to you in just a sec.
All right. Yeah, there we go.
Oh, yeah.
11 plus 3 is 14.
So that's 4 hit dice worth of damage. So you slam this thing, and it shoves back into that picture, and your foot kick kind of smashes the paper and kind of grinds it up, and it goes still when you do that. Hombre de Oro, let's see if we can hear you now. There. Are you talking, Matt? Still can't hear you. So weird. Dr. Explosiones.
All right.
Got a snake. The Frankenstein monster, if heard it, give one good roar before Phoenix Blanco smashed it back into the paper.
Okay, let's see here. So, is it completely out of the paper now, or is it still pulling out?
It's completely out of the paper now.
Okay, then I will fully engage with it. I am going to, let's see here, see if I can go for a grappling move to smack it down.
Let's have you roll the attack roll against it.
Yeah, that's what it all comes down to, isn't it?
Yes.
So, okay. And what was its,
I think it was an 8.
okay. So 12 plus an 8 plus my skill of 2.
Okay. Now, what's your damage roll?
2d4.
2d4. No, that's your hit dice, actually. So if you
Oh,
look under
really?
Scholar, under your thing, your damage is 1d10 plus 2.
Oh, well, that's awesome. Okay. So I'm going to roll one of these, and I'm going to clear this out because I was
Okay.
confused. And I'm going to add 2 to this, right?
Yep.
So I got a 5, so that's a 7.
Okay.
Nice.
So you grab this thing and you are bending it back. It's a little slippery,
Yeah.
like a wax
Like
candle.
wet feeding. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Kinda-
like,
Pulling it, twisting it around. It's got these big sort of trying to go at you. So we'll go to the bad guys. I've just got 2 bad guys. This simulacra of Rubio is going to attempt to shove its hand, kind of shove in your face, Ultimo, and to clearly try to grab and maybe drown you and do damage there. So what is your AC?
My AC is 9.
9. Okay. So 8 plus 9 is 17 plus 2 is 19. So it will miss, essentially, as it kind of grabs on there and doesn't connect. And Matt, can we hear you now?
No.
No.
oh.
Sorry, Matt. At least
We could
he's got
try
some
calling-
alcohol.
We could try dialing him with the phone connection, like calling him to his phone or his hotel room.
All right. Sherry, this snake is going to attempt to bite you. What is your AC?
What a fine question. I have no idea.
Let's
Yeah,
look
I'm
and
looking
see.
at this. I will get it one of these days, but I don't see it on the sheet.
It's just above weapons and attack bonus.
right. As soon as I find those, I'll.
014.
Okay, thank you. I'm so
14.
sorry. That I can do. Okay, it's 8. I'm sorry.
Okay. So I'm going to roll for that. This plus 8 plus 3. So it will bite you. Okay.
Whoa! Okay.
Okay. And it rolls its damage. And it rolls a d8. It rolls a 3, which means that you take 1 hit point of damage.
All right, just one?
Just 1.
Okay.
Matt, are we still out? I think so. And I think you're even frozen here. When he comes back, we'll see. He can play with us next week on a standard connection if he can't make it into tonight. Let's cut back to Ultimo Diablo. This thing has tried to essentially drown you with paint in sort of a last ditch attempt to bring you down. What do you want to do?
I'm gonna do my signature move, not what's on my chart, but the Diablo slap where I like stomp his foot and then come across with a backhand like right across the side of the face, as if I'm trying to knock their head off. Yeah.
You feel like if you can connect with this, you can certainly take him out.
Nice.
But
We're
he's
going
still a
for
little
that.
slippery.
Yeah, for my signature move, and we get. He's got. You said his AC is 9, so that's 20, and 3 is 23.
Okay. And what's your damage roll?
1d10 plus 2.
Okay. So your
that's
minimum.
Minimum's 1
Yeah.
point. Yeah, I got 1.
Okay. So that will hit, and this thing splatters. And imagine that someone took a whole bunch of paints and just Andy Warhol, Jackson Pollock the wall there.
Nice.
There's
my new art
maybe
style.
if you look hard, there's maybe an outline of a person, kind of as it splashes against that.
Nice. Nice.
Phoenix Blanco. You'll see that they've dealt with the simulacra. You see that Dr. Speciosis is still working with the serpent. What do you want to do?
I think I'm gonna I'm on a drop kick roll, so I'm gonna drop kick. Do the drop kick on the serpent.
Okay.
Try and drop kick it away from her, away from
right.
the doctor.
You're going to tag in?
Yeah.
Tag in. Okay. So its AC is 8.
Okay. So. Come on.
He's
Nice stream.
slippery.
Nice stream.
This is sometimes we play on Twidla, and Twidla hates everyone.
Is this like a critical fail, like where I kick the doctor instead?
It doesn't have rules for critical failure in the thing. So it essentially, but you will put your foot through the drywall as you do that, and kind of get stuck there as it goes through and crashes things like stuff on the walls and bookshelves come down when you do that. Ultimo Diablo, you probably see his foot come through into your room.
Nice.
Doctor, what do you want to do?
Tickle his toes.
I'm like, oh yeah, that's right. I should be kicking. Yeah, so she will essentially give it a shove away to get some space, and essentially do a sort of what do you say? She brings the kick around, up, over, and on over the top of its head. I don't know what that's called. Is that drop kick?
Roundhouse?
Roundhouse.
It's
I like
round
it. I'll take that.
Yeah, there we go.
I don't know the words, but I can see it. Okay.
Have your roll. AC is 8.
Okay, and I'm rolling a d20, right?
Yep.
Okay. What did I get? I can't see my roll. A
3.
3. I am having the worst.
Both of you. This thing is slick, and
Yes.
it will actually, as it's kind of wrapped around, and you kind of did that grapple on it, it starts to constrict on your arm there.
And I'm like, this is so humiliating.
I'm gonna bite it on my next chance.
Okay. And what is your AC?
My AC is 8.
Okay, so it will, in fact, connect with that grip on you.
Okay.
And I rolled a 4, so it does 1 more hit point of damage to you as it kind of crushes. You'll feel your arm,
Okay.
that pressure there on it, like a vice-like grip.
Ow!
Since you're right next to it, let's start with you, Doctor.
Oh, me? All right.
Yep.
I'm going to punch it.
Okay.
At this point. Okay. Let's see here. There. 5
Plus 8.
plus 8, 13. I have a total attack. Do I use my total attack roll?
Yep.
Or okay, so that's 4. So still short.
Okay, so you kind of grabbing it, trying to push it back, but it's strong.
It is.
So Phoenix, you're the next closest.
So I'm gonna stick my fingers in each of his nostrils, and I'm gonna try and rip them off like a giant Band-Aid, like rip them off of her.
Okay, awesome. Attack roll.
9 plus 6 plus 8. So that's a hit.
Yes, absolutely. What is your damage roll?
12 plus 3. So that's 12.
Okay, so that's 4 points of damage. So he rips this thing apart. And it's like melted wax and crayon wax everywhere. Goes splatter. Okay. And it will get very still in the house after that. Things kind of, papers drifting to the ground in the aftermath of this. The sound of crumbling plaster coming through the hole is punched in the wall.
Oh. Phoenix, I am so grateful. Thank you. How can we prevent more of this from happening? Is there that feeling that more of this is going to affect what caused these things to pull out?
Your sense is that whatever was sort of driving the attack on you, its attention or its energy has been spent.
Okay. well, that's a little reassuring. I go, okay, so there's one of those paintings over there, and it's got like a body in it. And it.
What do you
that
mean it
painting
has
doesn't-
like a body in it?
It doesn't look like any of the other ones here, and it's really odd. There's like, and she goes, you have to look at it. You'll see. It's wrong.
I'm gonna go look at the painting.
Okay. So this is a painting. It's got a very nice frame on it. It's clearly a modern frame. You guys have all seen the Thomas Kincaid pictures, and they have the little outlets at the mall. It is very much in that style, the light and color, sort of southwestern landscape. You can see the mezes in the distance and the yellows and golds, and it's beautiful to kind of create that emotional effect. And then, as she says, there is a little, right down at the bottom corner, there's like a little body painted in there.
Can I see any of the details on that little painted body?
Let's have you make a perception roll.
Okay. So I know it's 2d6, right?
Yep. Plus perception plus wisdom.
Perception is 0 and wisdom is 1. So 2d6 plus 1. It's 7. That's an 8.
The detail is kind of sparse on it, but it almost looks like that person that you were just talking to, like he was kind of an image of this Arturo Rubio, and it almost looks like the same sort of clothing and stuff in that picture.
Like he came out of the picture.
Well, no, this is...
No.
Yeah,
like he dragged Rubio in there.
It definitely has that kind of texture and stuff, and it feels very creepy. With that realization, I'm going to actually roll some madness for you, sir.
Yeah. Sorry, it's my Call of Cthulhu coming out in me now.
Absolutely. So this is a rationally impossible event that you will realize here. So this is how much madness you suffer. Ugh.
Okay.
Is it terrifying revelation when you realize that someone's body has been dragged into this painting?
Yeah, I'm gonna kind of stammer and I'm gonna hide.
Okay.
That's 6%.
That's 6 points. Yeah. Your maximum as a lucha of madness is 20, and at that point you don't go mad, you get angry.
Okay.
Matt, can we hear you now?
I don't know. Let's find out. Can you?
Yes, we can hear you now.
Reboots fix everything.
So
where have you been?
Well, I couldn't very well fight. Look at the suit I'm wearing. They're made of paint. Come on now. You guys had it in hand.
and they did it. They are all.
You will pick the drywall out of my boots later.
So they've dispatched these painting creatures, and they found this very strange painting here. So let's talk to our scholar person here. The investigators kind of looked at the painting and freaked out about it. What are you doing?
Me?
Yes.
I had seen it before. I will give it a really, let's see here. I will give it a good look to see if there's anything that suggests a supernatural. And is it a site, a particular site of a thing? Is there something about the frame that gives me a clue of what is the power that we are looking at here?
That's a good question. Let me have you make an occult roll.
Okay. And it would be lovely. Okay, so good. I have no skill in that whatsoever. Awesome.
Plus intelligence.
Okay. Let's see here. So I roll a 3. I have an intelligence bonus of 1, so that gives me 4. And that's back to a 3. So
It is a class skill, so you could spend one of your points of expertise to reroll.
I will do that because I think I can do better than that.
Okay.
So,
You're going to get some basic info, and then I'll give you a little, depending on how you roll, get some more.
okay. There we go. Much better. So that's an 11. I think. Wait, no. It's a 9.
9. So the thing that will strike you is how new this painting looks. It's got a nice frame. The frame is very nice. The painting is very classy. It looks like there might be some collector info on the back, but you're kind of concentrating on this thing. But it looks to you like maybe this painting is painted over another picture. Like there's something below the surface there, and you certainly get a shiver up your spine when you kind of realize that. And maybe whatever painting has been put on surface has kind of worked in some of those colors and stuff, but there's something else below.
All right.
I will come back to you. Let me check with my tough Phoenix Blanco. What are you doing here in the house?
I'm going to maybe move towards some of the back rooms and look around.
Okay. Let's make a perception roll. I'll give you some basic information. We'll see what else you get. And then I'm going to come back to Hombre de Oro.
All right, so... Okay, and I have a -1 perception, so it's an 8.
Okay. Plus your wisdom bonus, which is
0.
This is 0. Okay. So you can tell that this is a young woman's house. She's clearly been gone for a while, at least a week. And you can find like some bills and get her name, and her name is Alana Rubio. You'll see like a picture of her and her father. So you've got that. It looks like she's a school teacher and an artist. Like you can see that she has a schedule of weekend stuff going around the area and doing art shows and farmers markets and things like that.
Does it say where she's scheduled to be now?
It looks like she would have this coming weekend. She would have been at a art fair in one of the neighboring towns, like Socorro.
Okay.
But there's a lot of mail here. Clearly, she hasn't been back at least a week. It's been picked up, so you have the sense that her father may have come through here, searching and checking on the house. Hombre de Oro, Matt.
Okay. Well, the scholar might be looking at the painting from a academic perspective. I'd like to examine it kind of from a more social, class-based perspective. Would I recognize the artist? Anything about the frame or any signatures indicate anything to me? Remind me of a gallery I've been to, something like that.
Sure. Let's have you make a business roll.
All right, business.
Plus intelligence.
Serious business. All right, so business is 0, intelligence is 1. Can you make that roll for me? Because I do not have the apparatus.
Yeah, that's right. I will make that. That is 2d6. I'm going to roll for you. So 6 plus 1 is 7. So this is a painting that's from a workshop, and you will recognize it. It is a painting by the sort of workshop of Gabriel Zoido, who literally styles himself as the Thomas Kincaid of the Southwest. He churns out these paintings and sells them, around to motels and hotels, and he is very, to your mind, not great, but they have like a collector's number on the back and a certificate of authenticity and that kind of thing, so that you can, resell them on eBay and all of that. But it is definitely one of those.
petty bourgeois, lowbrow garbage. Whatever demons are haunting this painting clearly have no taste.
Fair enough.
There are demons with taste?
Let's come back to you, Diablo, after you recover from that shock.
Okay.
What's your next step?
Yeah, so after my nerves settled down a little bit, after that little realization, I want to more fully, if we haven't, I mean, have we explored every area of the house, the residence?
So you want to kind of do it just a general check over to see if there's anything else to be found here?
Yeah, it seems to me that there's something we're not getting that would maybe start tying some of these disparate pieces of either information or fact together.
Okay. A simple perception roll. I'm going to give you some information, and we'll see what else you get on top of that.
Okay. 6 and wisdom makes 7 total.
Okay. This painting is definitely not like anything else she has here.
Right. Okay.
But it is sort of stuck off to the side, like she got it and set it off to the side, like it wasn't that important to her. Other than that, in sort of looking around the house as you guys check around, it looks like she's been gone for a week. Like her father has been checking on things. And other than the strange paint anomalies and the strange painting, doesn't seem like there's anything else really here.
Is there a bill of sale for that painting? Either with it or in her belongings?
No. There is a certificate of authenticity taped to the back, but there's no bill of sale anywhere on it.
Anything written on the reverse side of the certificate of authenticity? I guess I'm trying to find where the painting originated from, because it probably didn't originate from the painter. It probably came from somewhere else, is my guess.
Well, it definitely has a number on it, and so that might be trackable.
Okay.
Okay. Anybody else want to check anything else out here?
I have a question.
Sure.
You said that the frame was modern. Does it look like the kind of framing that she might use for her stuff? Like she bought it for the frame? Like
No, it's
cheap.
It's overly garish in some ways.
Oh, okay.
Unless she was doing something super hipster.
No,
she would.
but she goes to art shows a lot. Can we tell which art show was last week? On her calendar?
I have her schedule.
Oh,
Absolutely. If you check back, the last art show she would have gone to before she vanished was at Carazozo.
When's the next art show?
That's the one this coming weekend at Socorro.
How many days away is that?
Let's say 2 days.
Okay.
Anything else anybody wants to check here?
I don't have anything particularly
Okay.
that jumps to mind.
Do we want to take the painting with us?
well, we're going to have to, aren't we? It's sort of a danger to anyone. I mean, we're going to have to exercise it.
Right. I mean, maybe if that is Arturo, we can get him out of the painting. Remember the last time we had to do something kind of like that? It was a messy affair.
Do we have like giant purple plastic bags in the back of the van for this purpose?
Let's say yes. That seems reasonable.
Big biohazard purple bag.
I'm thinking more Warehouse 13, but
Yes.
That works too.
Yes, you can wrap that up. And anything else, Matt, that you want to check out here, or we'll do scene one?
All the rooms have been looked at. I imagine, like we know there's no one else in the house.
Right. You probably got
I'm good.
personal stuff. Yeah. Okay. So let's cut to essentially you guys back at the place you're staying for several days, the hotel that's been nicely rented out for you. After all this, we can abstract stuff, or you guys can split, or what's your next step of investigation? And we can kind of do this abstract legwork, or you guys can all go one place, or what? Or you can do online research too. Okay, Sherry, let's start with you.
I'm sorry. Before we left, how many days did it look like after her time in Corzo that she would have been doing things still in the house? Because essentially she would have been bringing home assignments from the kids and things, and schoolwork is always dated. I mean, at least the teachers' books are and stuff like that of what they've done. So I can tell whether she made it there the next Monday or Tuesday or what. So how many days before things went wrong?
Sure, between that and the date book that Blanco got, it looks like the day she would have vanished is the day after that art show. Like she went to school that next day and then she was gone.
Okay.
Do we want to try and figure out what school she was at? And see
yeah.
if talk to her coworkers to see about.
Good idea.
I could call local schools and look for a Gabrielle, or what was the name? Alana. I could look for an Alana Rubio. I could call the local schools for an Alana Rubio and see if I can find out where she's worked.
Where she would have been working that day. Yeah, because she's an art teacher, so she's probably moving around between several elementary schools. So, yeah, that's a good idea.
I'd like to I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, Blanco, I'm going to say it'll be no problem for you to track that down. There aren't that many schools around here, and you can track down where she would have been that day. Sound good?
Sounds good.
Ultimo?
Sorry. I was going to say, I want to, while they're calling around looking for, where she was teaching and her schedule that way, I want to do some quick interweb searching, maybe some deeper dark web searching on top of that. Just kind of trying to find more about maybe the history of this particular painting, maybe some obscure unknown fact or rumors of the painter. Something.
Have you make a research roll.
All right. So it's going to be 12 plus some other numbers.
Okay.
13 at least.
The Zoido paintings, they're not particularly unique. They're clearly done. There's some dispute about whether Zoido paints them all. He claims he does, but there's clearly, he does some of the painting and then it gets filled in by assistants kind of thing. And he's been operating out here in the area for the last 15 years. There is a workshop, quote unquote workshop for Zoido, not all that far off in Alamogordo. Zoido himself apparently is kind of reclusive now. He hasn't been out doing sort of interviews and shows for at least a year and a half. But Zoido's, the whole group, the sort of company, they are very philanthropic in the area. They do art competitions. They sponsor scholarships. They do art classes for underprivileged youths, all of that kind of thing. They're very active and well regarded around in this community.
Okay.
People who work at the workshop live in a kind of company town called Cloudcroft, like a subdivision area.
Okay.
Okay. Man of Gold, Hombre de Oro.
Would a man of my station and means be able to approach either the artist or the artist's people as a potential customer for high-end or original work?
Yeah, you could certainly make that play. It looks like the contact information is for essentially one of the places at the mall where they sell some of these paintings, or the workshop itself.
I will not be going to a mall.
Fair enough.
So I would swing by the work.
Okay. So we will cut to, if we can, we're going to kind of abstract some investigation. Time is going to get fluid here. We'll come back to people and check what they're doing. We'll go to this workshop. It's isolated building, kind of out between here and Cloudcroft. Big building. They've got like some studio space in there, artist stuff. They've got a special gallery of paintings in there. And certainly they will, when they get your name, they will bring out a rep to kind of talk to you. And what is your shtick?
My shtick is looking around. I'm like, this is nice. Of course. And he's choking on these words. I love the work of this artist, but these are all rather pedestrian. These are things that could be gotten in a shopping mall. Do you have anything more esoteric?
Let me have you make a persuade roll here.
All right. So that would be what? Charisma and persuade a skill unto its own. So that's +2. Could you make that roll for me?
Yes, I can. The person is clearly a little put off by your dismissal of the paintings in general, but she will say, well, Mr. Zoido, his private work, I understand, is doing things outside of the range of landscapes, but those are certainly more expensive and only given to specialized collectors. We do private viewings for those.
All right, and then I will burn my once per session ill-gotten gains to pull out just a fat stack and just kind of like rifle through the bills of her face. Well, I would certainly be interested in one of these showings.
Well, that can certainly be arranged. Though it may seem odd, we do it actually after hours here. So perhaps you could return here this evening, say 9 o'clock, and we'll have a painting specially prepared for you.
Excellent. May I bring some guests?
There's a hesitation, but the sound of the money. Yes, certainly. The more, the merrier.
I'll tell Mr. Zato I'm quite enthused and looking forward to our meeting.
Excellent. Well, we look forward to having you come. All right, let's cut back to Phoenix Blanco. Your goal here. Muted.
Unmuted now. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So I found out what school she was at.
Yep.
Right. Would I have gone by myself, or maybe the doc would have come with me, or
Okay.
did we all break up on our own?
We can do that however you guys want.
Yeah.
Whatever feels comfortable.
I don't know. It's always fun having two people in the scenes. But so we find the school and start questioning some of the. Maybe it's a break. It's like it's school just let out and the teachers are gathered at the teachers' lounge, and
There's probably one of the young women teachers who are out
Out there
back
smoking.
having a smoke, you know. And you ask about Alana, and they'll point you to another one of these women who looks like she's a little bit older, and essentially they say that's Lori Frederick. She knew Alana. She helped get her in here. And you'll approach, and Miss Frederick will go, can I help you too?
Yeah, we're looking for Alana Rubio. I mean, we're looking into.
Oh, are you with the police?
No, we're friends of her father, Arturo.
Oh yeah, he's been by a couple of times. It's very, very sad. Is he okay? I know he had a car accident.
Yeah, he's rattled right now.
Yes, he seems very, very upset.
She sort of stops and says, "Did Alana say anything to you on that last Monday about anything that had happened over the weekend?"
What's the weird gift she got?
She got a weird gift. Can you tell me more about that?
She was doing caricatures up at the show, up at the farmer's market, and she was approached by a salesman, and he was clearly trying to get her interested in stuff for one of those crappy mall painting things, and he wouldn't take no for an answer, and he kind of foisted one of the paintings on her. I think he wanted to like make her a sales rep, or maybe use her being in the schools to kind of promote the paintings. I don't know. She was really kind of weirded out by it because she really disliked the painting.
Wow. All right. But that was the only thing.
Are you private detectives? She'll kind of look at you, Blanco.
Yeah.
No, as I said, we're here on behalf of Arturo. And did you say he came by a couple of times? He didn't mention that he came by a couple of times.
Oh no, she had seen him at a couple of other shows. It was just this last show that he finally kind of approached her. She found him a little creepy.
She found Arturo creepy. You found Arturo creepy?
No. Oh, you meant Arturo coming by. Yeah, Arturo came by here a couple of times. Yes.
Yeah. What were the two times he came?
Well, he came to check after she didn't turn up for a day or two, and then he came back after he talked to the police and after he'd gotten run off the road.
So that would have been was it Tuesday? What day was that?
And she'll say Wednesday,
yes.
two days ago.
Yeah, Wednesday. Okay.
He's all very odd.
Do you know where they took his car?
His car. I think he still had it. Well, no. He would have taken it to the mechanic there, and she'll name the shop Tony's Mobile. The police. How do I put this? The police kind of didn't believe his story, as I understand it, that somebody had run him off the road, because he'd kind of come in hysterical about his daughter before, and they were a little upset with him.
He didn't mention that to us, so I don't know. Maybe they kind of really made him feel bad about it.
Well, I really hope Alana turns up. I hope that she's just like run off for some weekend fling with somebody.
Me too. Thank you. And can we give her a card?
Yeah, I was just thinking.
Yeah.
If you think of anything else, can you give us a call?
All right. She'll take that. It has like a cover name and a number there and she'll say, "Oh, all right. Well, if I think of anything else, she'll put that away."
You don't look like plumbers.
Do we want to do more of a once around, or do we want to reconvene?
Did Diablo get to do his thing?
He did some research. Do you want to do a little more, or how do we want to do this? We can reconvene and then split up again if you guys want to kind of trade information.
I think reconvening is probably more prudent. Yeah. I mean, obviously, what I rolled was really good. So with my interwebbing search, I probably exhausted that.
Okay,
my guess.
So we'll say midday. The four of you can meet up again and swap out info.
Okay.
Let you.
So we found out that he might have talked to Arturo might have talked to the police to give him a story, and they didn't buy it when he got run off the road. There might be a police report.
Okay, that's interesting. I found a little bit out about the painter himself, the artist. He's been in the area about 15 years or so. He's been kind of a recluse for the last year and a half. He may or may not be painting the entirety of his paintings by himself. Most likely he's painting the basic structure, and then obviously students and those in his art commune are kind of finishing the works. And what did you say? It was Lowell Cloud? Cloudville?
Cloudcroft is a sort of isolated, sort of gated community that his people work and live in.
Yeah. So, the artisans have their own kind of like enclave, commune, hippie commune kind of thing out there in Cloudcroft. Far out on the outskirts of town, kind of bordering in the middle of nowhere. This whole situation is a little shady. Yeah, I still avoid looking at the painting again. It still creeps me out.
Even wrapped in purple plastic here.
It still creeps me out.
Okay, yeah. Fair enough.
I would avoid looking at the painting for other reasons because of its substandard nature.
I was going to say, it's obviously inferior in style and quality to what you're used to.
Absolutely, but I have secured us the dubious pleasure of a private showing.
Boy. She goes, where is it? Is it at Cloudcroft?
The studio is distinct from that, right, Lowell?
Yes, it's the studio sort of workshop is a little ways outside of Cloudcroft.
Okay. Let's see here.
There's very few doors that the key of gold will not open.
Oh. You've got a key? That's awesome.
Well played.
Yes.
How about...
I think Phoenix rolls his eyes there.
Yeah.
How about if we go by Tony's and look at Arturo's car, see if we can see if there's any, paint scrapes or whatever from the car that tried to push him off the road, if they actually made contact. Since he had to take the car in, there may have been damage other than just from him going off the road.
And maybe one of us could pretend like we're a lawyer or an insurance adjuster and get a copy of the police report.
Ooh. That'd be someone who has fine acting skills.
Someone who dresses like a successful attorney.
Yeah.
Oh.
Touche.
We're thinking really hard.
I don't know if an attorney who investigates car crashes would dress like this.
But an attorney for the insurance company would.
But I will.
You're one of them hoity-toity New Yorker lawyers.
I resemble that comment.
He must be from Albuquerque.
Ooh, all fancy and stuff there. All right. So I will say, Blanco, you and the doctor can go to Tony's mobile. You'll talk to the woman. She's behind the desk. She's chewing gum. You ask about it, and she'll say, "Yeah, he hasn't picked up his car. It's out in a lot out back. It's the blue Ford Taurus." And it's essentially out where anybody can walk by and check it out if you want to do that.
Thank you very much. You've been a great help.
You're welcome. A little bit more chaw there.
So we'll go out and check out the car.
Okay. I will say, since you're both of you there, let's not have a perception roll. I will say that you can check and determine, yes, he was clearly like sideswiped, and there's definitely some paint scrapings here.
Vehicle paint or artist paint?
Vehicle paint. Good one. Nice.
But what color?
Looks like it was yellow.
That's an unusual color.
School bus yellow or?
No, more of a sort of like an iridescent yellow.
Like a Prius.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, that's so wrong. So wrong.
So yeah, I mean, it looks like the police have kind of ignored that.
How about anything inside the car that might like?
No, it doesn't look. Well, how do I put this? You'll probably find some of his notes about friends of hers that he's talked to. A list of her contacts. He's done all that kind of basic legwork that you would have done to try to track down a missing person. Okay. And it's probably all that notes on that. That'll kind of make you pretty sure that it definitely wasn't anything conventional. Is it that good? Anything else you want to do there?
Maybe go back. I'll say last thing. Maybe we just go back in and talk to Gum Chewer, and just ask her if anybody else has been by to see the car or removed anything from the car.
She'll go. Yeah, there was that one guy. He said he was a friend of Arturo's. He came by. Looked at the car, like you guys.
Can you describe him?
Well, I remember that he had kind of a bowl cut hair. It was not the best haircut.
Was he big, small?
Kind of lean.
About yay high.
Yeah, you can work her through, and she'll give you some of the basic details. White guy, late 30s. Bowl cut hair.
And how long ago was this that he was here?
Oh, day before yesterday.
Do you know if he took anything out of the car?
I don't think so, but we don't lock him up. We tell you got to take your valuables out before you drop it off. There's a big sign to that effect on the side of the building.
And did he happen to leave his name or a card or anything with you?
No. I asked him if he wanted to, if he was, wanted to check in or wanted to get a hold of Arturo, but no, he didn't leave anything.
All right. Well, thank you again. You've been a great help.
You're welcome. Hombre de Oro. you want to check with the police report?
Yes, and should I bring my intern with me?
I was thinking I was more like the Uber driver, but yeah. Yeah, I'll go with him.
All right.
So you'll go in.
I'm just paralegal.
Paralegal. The desk sergeant will kind of look when you ask about that, and she'll say, "I'll get the detective."
Excellent. Thanks.
And she'll go back, and a little bit later, this detective comes out, that paunch that says, "I've been on the job too long." The sweat pit stains on the shirt. The belt that needs to give a little, sort of a little bit of jowl there. Coffee out of the machine out back. The ones with the little like playing card things on the side. And he will come out and he'll say, "Who are you guys again?"
No, we're from the insurance company. We apologize for wasting your time, sir. We know that you probably have much more important things to deal with than this trivia, but there is a significant amount of liability involved with the policy we're representing today. So if you could just give us the information you have on this case, we would not much of your time.
Oh. Let's have you make a persuade roll.
All right, so that is +2. You can throw them bones.
Think it ain't me. I really suck.
Okay, so I rolled an 11 +2 is you'll see this guy. He's very clearly actually kind of nervous about this now. And he will say, "Well, see, here's the thing. I had I found out who was involved in the accident. And they said they're going to make right by it. They're going to take care of things. But they kind of didn't need the hassle on their license. And these are good folks, good people, upstanding. So I told them that we'd just keep it off the books if they made things right. And I know they were going to be reaching out to Mr. Rubio when he calmed down."
Well, when he calmed down, he was upset. He did not agree to. Right?
As I understand it, they hadn't had a chance to talk to him yet. It was a simple accident, but he read it as something more, and so with his daughter going missing, he was overreacting and everything. So don't worry. These folks are going to take care of it. Everything's going to be fine. It'll be good.
Well, one could certainly understand how I wouldn't try to call it overreacting if his daughter was missing. And see that legally, as I am a lawyer, of course, sir, that there are some irregularities here. I don't think it's proper procedure to move forward the way you have with this case. Wouldn't you agree, intern?
I would definitely agree that it's most unorthodox way of handling a simple case of, shall we say, vehicular collision. Detective, it might be in our client's best interest if we converse with the offending party.
Capital idea.
I'll give you the name. I'm sure if you go and talk to him, he'd be more than willing to work something out to get everything squared away on his side of things. But they're good people, they bring a lot to the community. So I don't want to, I just want to say that before you go and talk to him.
Makes perfectly good sense. I think us representing our clients' interests, we just want to make sure that that this other party is going to make timely restitution, so our client's vehicle can be, repaired and roadworthy in a timely manner. I think that's what we all want.
Absolutely. And he writes down a name and a number, and he says, "This is Brad Manning's number. You can get a hold of him. He wasn't driving his own car. He was driving the company car. So, there's some issues there." Hands you the phone number and the name.
Well, thank you. What company does he work for? I don't recall you mentioning that.
Well, he's with the Zoido workshop, works with the school side of things.
Okay, well, great.
Now, this isn't going to go any further, and he kind of looks at you, hombre. And we've lost sound from you again, I think. But that angry face tells me everything I need to know there. So,
actually, it'd be pretty great if the scene ended where he didn't respond, left the detective hanging and just walked out.
Just walked away.
Well, I can assure the detective that that this ends here unless there is obvious evidence that the Mr. You said Manning, right?
Manning, yeah.
That Mr. Manning has, if he gives us the impression that he either can't make restitution or will not make restitution, then
I'm sure they will. I'm sure they will. That they've done a lot for the community. They work with kids. They do all kinds of scholarships. They're very, they have their hands all over this place.
So what you're saying is they're pretty well off then, as an organization.
I'm just a small town detective.
Sure.
In
I
a small
understand.
town. So don't quote me on anything here.
I understand, detective. Well, again, thank you for your time, and we'll be speaking with Mr. Manning in a timely manner, obviously.
All right. He'll drink down the last of that coffee. We know the residue is kind of stuck on the cup, and goes back to his office there. So Matt will rejoin us. What do you three want to do?
Well, if you come back and tell us what he said, I think one of the things that's interesting is they do a lot with the kids, has been said. So if we kind of
right
look back through those pictures and stuff, are there some recurring monsters or themes on some of these pictures that are going on, those nightmare images that you were talking about, that might give us a sense of what sort of thing is brewing under the level, if it's this whole group that's part of this?
Interesting. Let's have you make an art roll.
Oh no, why are you making me roll? I just want something lovely to be okay. So unkind.
Now it seems to you like at least among her school kids, it doesn't look like they're suffering any kind of big nightmarish thing that is going on. That doesn't seem to be the angle.
That's not the vector. Okay. Well, that's reassuring, at least.
Blanco?
Well, I'm thinking that maybe a couple of do we still have time before we have the art show thing? Before we go before
Probably have before the viewing.
Yeah, the viewing. the art. Yeah.
That sounds so horrible.
I know. You probably got a little bit of time. Is there anything other thing you want to check into before that?
Well, it might be if we have time to track down Mr. Manning and talk to him.
Okay. Yeah, you could probably you want to try and track him down at home, or find out where he lives.
Well, maybe we could do a little. If he's been done stuff for the community, maybe we could do a little bit of research first, or do like Google him.
Okay. Yeah, let's have you make a research roll.
Learn about him. Oh man, have me do the research roll. Okay.
Yeah. I always have the person who suggested it.
That's what we got to stop this.
Yeah, I'm a -1 on the research. Okay.
Yeah.
Here we go. A 3.
The one thing you will be pretty sure is if he works for the company, as you're kind of checking out the stuff, all the directories of people who work for there, they all clearly live up at Cloudcroft, at that sort of gated community subdivision up there. So kind of tracking him down outside of work is probably going to be pretty difficult.
Did I find it? Were there any images of him?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, you can get a picture of him.
Does he have a ball cut?
Yes, he does.
Does he sound
not an attractive cut.
Does he sound at all like that guy that was trying to push that painting on Alana?
No. Oh, sorry. Wait, actually, yes.
He does. Okay. All right.
And that's the same guy pushing the painting. It's the same guy who theoretically ran her father off the road.
Correct.
That doesn't sound suspicious.
Anything else you want to look into before the viewing, Diablo?
No, I really don't think so. I think we got what we could get. I mean, obviously, we can't really talk to Mr. Manning.
Right.
Unless he's at the viewing.
Correct.
Right. So I think that's our next logical place.
Okay. And what about
Somebody else has another suggestion?
Doctor?
Oh, I'm ready for this viewing. I've got my mask ready to go. Yeah.
Well, then, what I want to suggest is, since we're at 10 o'clock, and that seems like the next big step, the next big leg, we stop here and we start with that scene at the beginning of next session. Does that seem okay for you guys?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm good with it.
Okay.
Oh, I come back again.
Pardon, sorry, man.
Matt just made it back, and we're going to quit for the night.
Yeah.
Is that cool with you, Matt?
Absolutely.
Because you'll have probably a more steady connection next time, and we'll get started there. And we'll start out with you and your bankroll and the viewing at the strangeness of the Zydo workshop. So we'll take up there.
I love how we're calling it a viewing. That's classic.
Yes. And we'll play next time. We'll see. We'll get and finish this story out. At the end, we'll do Roses and Thorns then about the game and so on, and get through that. Anything else, guys?
No, I'm liking it so far.
I'm
Yeah.
loving it. I'm digging
Okay,
it.
good. Yeah. I love Lucha, so it's awesome.
I might show up in a mask next session.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I have the one that Matt gave me in my. I should have pulled that out. So
I thought about printing one of the ones out that you fold, like you cut it out and you fold and tape it. But
Nice. I know nothing about
Awesome.
Lucha, so I'm a Lovecraft fan. So
yeah, I'm a mix anything with
Yeah.
I'm a mix anything with Lovecraft. So one of my
it's
favorite
got to be
games
good
is
if it's got Lovecraft in it.
Penguins
so.
of Madagascar
Yeah.
versus Chtulhu.
Yeah. I will say, if you do anything with Lovecraft, you're running anything Cthulhu thing, I think Silent Legions is a dynamite resource to pick up. But we'll come back to that. We'll talk about that next time.
Right
all right,
on,
guys,
man.
I'm going to stop recording, and we will see you next Thursday.
Very cool.
Next
right,
time.
good.
All right.
Yeah. Thanks,
All right,
guys.
we'll see you guys in a week.
Bye.